Well, hello and welcome. And today I'm up at Camp Bob. As you can see, I'm stood in front of my shelter, cabin, shed. I always do this, I don't know what to call it. It's a shed in the woods. Anyway, I'm under the canopy at front of the shelter. And I came up today to do a couple of little jobs. One of which was put up a shot catcher for slingshots. Because I'm tight, I want to reuse the steel balls. So at about 10 metres yon way, I've fabricated a pellet catcher out of a plastic barrel and built a cradle around the tree and mounted it to the cradle. It's all strapped on. That way, as the tree gets bigger, I can take the wedges out that hold the cradle on and give it a bit of room. But I've had a few shots at it since I got it up. It's absolutely tanking down. And I suspended a can in it from with a little clip, spring clip, from a line that's in there. Unfortunately, the second shot hit the can, knocked it straight off the clip. And it's raining too much. I'm going to wait for it to stop raining a bit before I venture out and put another target in it. But I've been shooting at the target catcher just to get my eye in. And I'm still missing. I'm still hitting the sides of the target catcher. Which is why I brought it up here instead of leaving it in my garden. Because although it seldom happens, occasionally if you have a wayward shot and it clips the side of the barrel, it ricochets off. And yesterday one came back and struck the wall behind me in the house, and I thought, I don't need that going through in my windows and one of my neighbours' windows. So I've banned catapults in the garden for now. We're just not confident enough at the moment. So I'll do some practice up here. Anyway, I've mounted it where it is so I can stand here under the shelter when it's raining and practice. But I'll have to get some targets, steel targets I can suspend from the barrel so that I've got something to aim at. And then I don't have to keep going and changing. But that's why I'm up here today. In a way it's a good job I did come up today, because when I got here, the nest that's on my wall behind me that had eggs in has now got chicks in. Unfortunately, when I got here, it had collapsed. I'll point the camera at it, bear with me a second. Well, some of it was. And as I undid one of the elastic catches on the tarp in front of the door, it all hit the deck. A bit of it hit the deck. Most of it was already on the floor with the chicks in it. Anyway, I've couldn't leave them on the floor. I've picked them up. Bear with me. Bloody camera's on a funny mode. I've gathered them up in the leaf litter, the nest itself. I've put some sterile gloves on because I didn't want to put too much of my scent on it. I mounted a little plastic box on the wall and picked them and their nest up carefully and put them back in there. They've all settled down together and the mother's been back a couple of times to feed them. So I'm hoping as soon as I go and the cover's back on it, it should be fine. If I can find a bit of tarp, I'm going to put a temporary cover over that so that there's always a cover on it. Well, as soon as this rain lets up a bit, I'll have a wander around the site and see if I can find a bit of tarp to cover it. Had a check at the 12x12 to see if it had weathered okay since the last time we were up, and that's alright. Water's flowing well even though it's raining, and there is a lot of water on site, and we are up next week to continue the work up here. We'll see how we go with that. Hopefully between now and next weekend it won't be too wet and it'll dry out a little bit. But that's been this entire year. If it's been bad for us just wanting to camp out, it's been dreadful for anyone that has to work outside in all this weather. All this wet. Wet, wet, wet. Not the band, the weather. I'm talking bollocks. Right, I think I might go. I was going to do a waffle in the woods, but I don't think I will. Well, we'll see. There's some bright patches coming through, so hopefully this will ease off a bit and I might set a camera up and do a waffle in the woods. Because there's a lot on my mind at the moment, what with the election that's been called. And I've got to say, I don't hold out much hope for a better future. Simply because there's no one really to vote for. You're voting against. Isn't that a damning indictment of society, that there's nobody to vote for, you have to vote against the people you really don't want. And I really don't want any of them at the minute. They can't be trusted. I had a visit from my Labour, not Labour, my prospective Tory MP, because we've been caught in the new boundary changes, so we've got a new chap. He's only young, but he was talking a lot of sense. For instance, and this might shock you, he actually knows what a woman is. Good God, eh? I was surprised that Sir Keir Starmer, in charge of the Labour Party. Yeah. That's shocking that the Labour Party is controlled by the elite middle classes. The wealthy, elite, university educated middle classes. And none of them have actually done any real courses. They're all some sort of social science bullshit. Yeah, but never mind, they can't be trusted. They really can't be trusted. We'll end up like Scotland with hate laws. You question anything laid down by them, our political masters, and you'll end up in a death camp eventually. That's the way Labour's going. Anyway, Sir Keir Starmer, highly educated, been to university, went to a grammar school, private school, Labour MPs, went to a private school, elitist twat that he is, and studied law, became a barrister, and now he knows better than everybody else. But he doesn't know what a woman is. When asked repeatedly what a woman was, he couldn't say. I never thought I'd live to see the day where someone standing for Parliament doesn't know what a woman is. Christ almighty, he's married to one. Lift a frock and have a look, for God's sake, Keir. Bloody hell. It's not because they don't know, it's because they don't want to say. If he was to sit there in that television interview and say, well, a woman's a biological female, adult biological female, somebody that's capable of giving birth, of bringing new life into the world, he'd have been out straight away, because the woke left that runs rife in the Labour Party these days wouldn't have. They'd have ousted him straight away, because he's got too much common sense. No, so he can't say what a woman is, or a man for that matter. Yeah. Good job I'm not in Scotland, because for what I'm going to say now would get me a 7-year jail sentence in Scotland, and it might just get my YouTube channel cancelled here. There are but two genders. Either you're a man or you're a woman. And if you're a man, you can grow your hair, get some fake tits, call yourself Shirley and put a frock on. You can even go to the extreme of cutting your meat and two veg off and having a Polly Pocket inserted, but you'll never be a woman. All you've done is turn yourself into a eunuch. Your choice, though, it's your life. Live your life your way. I've got no problem with that. But don't come to me and say, I am now a woman and you have to agree, because I don't agree. You're not a woman. You're a very poorly man. And if you've chopped your meat and two veg off, you are now a eunuch, a very poorly eunuch. I don't care if you have a Polly Pocket inserted. It's not a vagina. Never will be. So, yeah, that'll get me some hate. That'll get rid of a load of people off my channel. And to be fair, I don't care. The channel's not for you, it's not for anyone, it's for me. These waffles are not for you, they're for me. It's a record I'm leaving for my family, moving forward in time. This is what daft old Grandad used to think. I despair for future generations, I despair for the world my grandson's going to grow up in. He'll either end up living in some hellhole woke utopia, or, more likely, an Islamic State. Because let's face it, Europeans aren't breeding. There's a breakdown of family values, a breakdown of the traditional nuclear family. It's been seen as evil by the woke left. But unfortunately, you need the traditional nuclear family to raise children and have families and keep the population increasing, or standing steady at least, but it's not doing that. Except for those people that will chuck the woke liberals off roofs as soon as they come into power. That made me chuckle. Queers for Palestine. Oh my God, have you heard anything so stupid? It's tantamount to Jews for Hitler. If you'd had Jews walking down the street with big placards, Jews for Hitler, he's not that bad. Jesus. You never got that. No. Because they've got more sense than know when they're being persecuted. But obviously Queers for Palestine don't know when they're going to be persecuted. Yeah. You jog on to any Muslim, any nation in this world that is run by Sharia law, and set out your stall and get your rainbow flags up, and march up and down shouting Queers for Palestine. Yeah. Dressed in your tranny outfit, waving your crotch in children's faces out in Iran or Iraq or Saudi Arabia. See where that gets you. See where that gets you. I'm not saying it's right to chuck you lot off roofs. No, live and let live. But you only do it here. You only do it in the free West, because in the rest of the world you'd be locked up, killed, or tortured and killed. Yeah, it's only the free West that tolerates all of that stupidness. No. Anyway, people of the UK, if you want to see what's going to happen here, take a look across the pond, look at America, and look at the democratically run cities. They're hellholes, absolute hellholes. The states that people in America are moving to are states like Florida and Texas. And you say, oh, they're white supremacists. Well, why so many non-whites moving there? Yeah. Yeah, why has Trump got such a large Hispanic and a growing black vote? Because the sensible people, regardless of skin colour, know you can't vote for the Democrats. The Democrats are the party of slavery, and they're still holding lots of people, black, white, whatever colour, in slavery. Servitude, benefits servitude, and Labour Party is going to do it here. They're going to hold vast swathes of the population in servitude to their benefits. You disagree with us and we'll stop your benefits. And we're not going to help you get a job, and we're not going to grow the economy, because we don't need it to be like that, because that means you'll start thinking for yourself. Yeah. Because cash is going, you'll get tokens, government issued tokens in your account, and a little plastic card that you can only use in approved stores for approved products. It's coming. It's coming, don't you worry about it. And we're doing it to ourselves. We are allowing this to happen. We need new political parties. We need to close down Westminster. We need to build a new political town somewhere more central. Move it north, somewhere more central to the whole of the UK. And have a political town with our parliament in it, and all our government offices, and accommodation. You know, when MPs go to London and they get given money to buy a house, in a second home in London, and then they get money to furnish it and decorate it, and it all comes out of your and my pocket, the taxpayer's pocket. Do they have to give that house back? I've always wondered that, can't seem to find out. So if you know, do they get to keep that house? Because it's only there, supposedly, while they're working as an MP. That belongs to the people. That belongs to us. We want the fucker back. Jesus Christ. Yeah. I'm sure if somebody that's in army accommodation doesn't get to bloody keep it when they stop being in the army. No, that's not right, that. Should build some travel lodge type buildings for MPs when they're in Parliament. Yeah. A room, a bathroom, a little office, all the immediate needs they could need, a cafeteria to feed them. And then they don't need fucking expenses either. Robbing cunts. You can tell I don't like politicians. Not on a personal. I'm not talking about personally, because some of them are nice people. I'm talking about politicians generally, as a class. yeah, the political class. Oh, I've got no time for that. Yeah. But we need them. We need politicians, I suppose. Someone's got to do all the corruption, haven't they? Yeah. There's another thing. You get caught being corrupt, you go to prison. They get caught being corrupt, they get early pensioned off. Well, everyone, they protect themselves, don't they? It's going to be fun in America if Trump gets it. And the reason it's going to be Trump is he's got axes to grind with the Democratic Party. And then they're going to say, oh, you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't pick on people once they're out of office. Well, to be fair, they're doing it. They started it. Yeah? They've been hounding him. Yeah? When he got elected, remember everyone saying, oh, it was corruption. It was this, it was that. It wasn't a fair election. We should have a new election because he shouldn't be their president. And everyone had down on him getting elected. And as soon as he said it, when Biden got elected and he said something like that, he's being anti-democratic. But when they say it, they're supporting democracy. Fucking hypocrites. Politicians are really fucking hypocrites. How do I get onto this? I don't know. It's been bugging me. It's been bugging me since that young lad knocked at my door. And to be fair, I'm going to vote for him simply because he knows what a woman is. I don't give a shit about the rest of his policies. He's not a thumb pointer. And by that I mean, you watch politicians. They haven't got the strength of character to emphasise things with a pointy finger like they used to. The thumb pointers. Well, we all know they're still pointing. So if they're going to point with a thumb, at least have the balls to point with a finger. Thumb pointers. Fuck it. Just means they can't be trusted. As same as if they won't answer the question, what is a woman? So any politician comes knocking at your door, first question I would say is, could you tell me what a woman is, please? Now they'll either not answer it, and in my view, if they won't answer that, that means they're too shifty and they're not honest. And if they're not honest, don't vote for them. Or their party, because they represent a party that's not honest. They might tell you it's anyone that declares they're a woman. Fair enough. At least they were honest in their views. They've told you what they're standing for. Any man, including predatory men that are after children and women, even them, and I'm not saying all trans women, if I couldn't get this right, all trans women are predatory men. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying that predatory men, you know, the ones that joined the church or youth services or social services and worked in those fields because it gave them access to vulnerable children, right? And we all know that they're out there and we have to watch them or watch for them. Well, those predatory men are now just putting a frock on. Oh, I'll put a frock on and I'll stand in the corner of the changing rooms where the little girls are, and if there's one in there getting changed on her own, I'll slip my hand down my frock and give myself a bit of a tug. You know, they're out there. And as again, I'm not saying all trans people are like that, but predatory men are like that, and they will be using that as an excuse, and we've got to watch for it. We've got to be aware of it. So, I'll digress again. Anyhow, they might think that anyone that declares that they're a woman is a woman, and anyone that declares they're a man are a man. Fair enough, you're entitled to your opinion. See, I believe that, you're entitled to your opinion. I don't think I have to agree with you. That's the difference. I don't think I should be legally bound to agree with you. Don't agree. Or there might be the rare occasion where they say like a woman is a adult biological female and a man is an adult biological male. Right? They're rare. They're like fucking hen's teeth. And if you get one of them, vote for them. Even if they say Mars is a wonderful place to colonise and we'll be there a week on Tuesday, he truly believes it. Because obviously they're insane. But at least they're insane and they know what a woman is. So, yeah. Yeah. Gee. Quite drawn to the Reform Party. Well, I don't know. It's difficult because you get extremists joining all these parties. But you get extremists in every... The Labour Party's full of fucking extremists. That'll have re-education camps in a heartbeat. And they turn into killing fields and death camps, don't they? Because think about it. All those murderers that Stalin employed to kill, 20 million of his own people for not thinking the right way. They all thought they were doing fighting the good fight, or enjoyed killing, one of the two. Yeah, people are always out there that do that. And then there was Chairman Mao. Yeah, He wasn't averse to killing people. And then look at Pol Pot. Yeah. Ceausescu. There's been lots of people that don't mind killing their own folk for thinking the wrong way. And it goes right back through history. It's just a human curse, I suppose. But we're all supposed to be wary of it and watch for it and vote in a reasonable way. Yeah. People used to say don't talk about religion and politics in polite company. And that was just so you didn't fall out with people and cause an argument or a scene. These days you don't talk about things like that because you can end up getting stabbed by some left-wing loony that thinks words are violence. And every time you disagree with them, you're committing a genocide of some type against gay people. Don't fucking care about gay people. Don't have any issues with gay people. Don't have any issues with gay men or gay women or gay anyone. You know, sure. Why would you have an issue with that? You know, it's their life, live it their way. As long as they don't have an issue with me living my life my way. Yeah? We shouldn't have to legally agree with each other. Down that road madness lies. And simply saying that you disagree with somebody isn't a hate crime. I don't care what the Scottish Parliament says, it isn't. But and why the police? The police, because they're run by university-educated middle-class twats as well. And I don't have a down on university education. It's just that if you're studying anything in the STEM field, then good on you. And if you're studying anything in the social science field, you're a fucking moron. There's no jobs out there for you. Just made up jobs by left-wing councils. Yeah. A number of people where I work, you just need a general education where I work, and I won't say where I work, but a number of people there with degrees and master's degrees in pointless subjects end up working in the same place where all you need to be able to do is read and write to a GCSE level. Yeah, all your student loans were well worth it. But yeah, I don't think any of those loans should be written off as well. I think the bastards should be made to pay every penny back. The reason for that is they've signed up for courses where they know there's very little chance of getting a job, any real job, doing anything. And the reason that is that the world's got more technical. So degrees need to be specific and have real skills involved, real skills or real knowledge that are specific to a task. And a lot of people don't do those types of degrees because they're hard and they need work. You know, if you do an engineering degree of some description, you're at college or university 5 days a week, and it's at least 9 till 5. You might get a half day for other activities, which invariably mean that you're catching up on work or spending time in the library researching something. No, if you're doing something in STEM, then you're putting the hours in. You know, you're not just doing 2 half-hour lectures a week and the rest is self-study. In other words, down the pub talking bollocks with your mates. No. And now with artificial intelligence writing writing a lot of the papers, regurgitating other people's work in a new way, so you don't even have to do it yourself. That's scary. That's why I'm a big fan of it. Every fucking university course should end in exams. Sit you down, piece of paper, write it down yourself. Come on, you've already done the assignments. You should know your stuff. No, don't want exams, because that will just show that most of the people that are passing these degrees shouldn't. No. As I say, the world's gone mad. Absolutely fucking mad. And we've allowed it. And we're allowing it. So, yeah, election. So, well, you get the election and you get people rattling your door, wanting your vote. The first question out your mouth, in my opinion, should be, oh, yeah, I'm very interested, but could you tell me what a woman is, please? And watch the Labour candidates turn around and run, tail between the legs and run. And they'll brand you as a right-wing extremist. And if you're white, you'll be a white supremacist. And if you're male, you'll be a misogynist. Yeah. The only people now that could say the man is... But you have to be a... The only people that can really say, with any safety in this modern world, what a man is and what a woman is in reality are Muslims. because no left-wing politician will attack anyone that follows the Islamic faith. I believe. I could be wrong. But there you go. Yeah. Because you get them on the TV and they won't condemn Hamas. They won't condemn the murder of children. They won't condemn the raping of women. Apparently it's all justifiable to them because their prophet said they could do it because the people they're doing it to aren't Muslims. So they don't have to condemn it. We should be condemned for asking them to condemn it. The world's gone fucking mad. But there you go. We've brought this on ourselves by being too fucking tolerant. Yeah. We've got to welcome everyone's culture, but our culture is toxic. Fuck off. If our culture is so fucking toxic, why do people want to come here? Coming here I can understand. Wanting to build the culture that they're running away from because of all the faults it's got, build it here. What the fuck? Beggars belief, this. Oh, we want to come to your country because of freedom and this and that and opportunities that we don't have at home. You don't have freedom, you don't have opportunities. Why? Because of religious doctrine. Yeah, because your society is dominated by an organised religion. When our society was dominated by an organised religion, it wasn't grand. There was no real freedoms. We should have a definite separation of religion and state. The only right to religion any individual should have is the right to personal belief. That's it. You can believe it. No one else has to. And you can't force anyone to do it. And you can't force anyone to respect your beliefs. They're your beliefs after all. Yeah. Well, such is life. Well, all religions should be taxed. They should be registered as businesses and taxed. Yeah, all religions. Why should they get a pass? Make a fortune out of them. Yeah. And religion shouldn't be taught in schools at all. And I went to a Catholic school. But I still think if you're going to get any funding from the state for your school, to run a school, then there should be certain rules. And if the state is funding the school, no religion can be taught. Still has to meet all the academic criteria that the schools are going to set to be a school, but you can't teach religion if you're getting any funding whatsoever. Yeah. Religion is something for the person, for the individual, or for a family to instill in their own children. But children shouldn't go to school to be indoctrinated in religion of any form, any type. Yeah. After all, which religion should you choose? All of them? That'd be a bit silly. The main ones, or which are the main ones? Are we going by number? Yeah. Number of followers in your country, nation, number of followers across the globe. Yeah, because an awful lot of people these days are signed up to be, what is it, Jedis. But yeah, it's all bloody stupid. As I was saying earlier, the world's gone fucking mad. We're allowing it to go mad. And this is my little bit of madness. It's still bloody raining. See, I wasn't going to do a waffle in the woods. I think it's been affecting my mental health, the state of the nation. Simply because I'm stressing about it all the time. I don't want to be stressed about it. You have to watch. They've got you, so you have to watch what you're thinking at all times, and it's bollocks. Absolute fucking bollocks. The thought police. And the police should stop worrying about what people are saying in the privacy of their own bloody homes and get out there and stop some crime. But they won't do that, and you're not allowed to defend yourself. Oh, there's Mummy Bird back. Oh, she's got some grubs. And she's just gone back to the nest behind me. But I'm not going to move. Well, there you go. At least she hasn't abandoned them. I might go and throw my coat on, see if I can go find something there. Cover that area up. So she can get in and out. Like, I've got a tarp in front of the shelter. I'll drop it down when I leave. And she's built a nest just behind the edge of that. So, yeah, I need something to cover it up so she feels, so the chicks are more protected when I roll it up. I was hoping that that's too heavy, I've been there long enough. I've been avoiding coming up because of the chicks. Oh, she's over there now, looking for things. Right, I'm going to get out of her way. I'm going to go and look for a tarp. Sorry for putting all my woes on you. Oh, this camera's gone all over the place. Yeah, sorry for putting all of my... Oh, Jesus, I'm leaning on a post. Yeah. I don't know what to think anymore. I think that's the be all and end all. I'm so confused. I know everyone else is talking about mental health, but this really does fuck up my mental well-being. Why can't people just live and let live? Why do they have to insist? So, well, not everyone, but there's that bloody extreme left belief that you have to agree with everything they say, otherwise you're the problem. Have you ever thought you might be the problem? Demanding that everyone agrees with you. Jesus, you can't agree with all of your left-wing mates. They must disagree at some time. I suppose that's when they have purges. When they run out of normal people to kill, they have purges and kill each other. Witch hunt. It's a witch hunt, isn't it? And they didn't stop until powerful people got the finger pointed at them. So maybe as we start now, we have to start pointing fingers at powerful people. Yeah, but they ignore that, didn't they? Like all those 4,000 complaints against Yousaf there after he forced his hate bill through. After he stood in the Scottish Parliament and denounced white people for being white. That's not racist, apparently. Fucking cunt. Yeah. We had over 4,000 complaints against him, but they decided not to do anything about those complaints. No, it'd be some daft little bugger who just happens to mention that he's not a fan of gay people, and he'll get lynched. Yeah? He'll do 7 years. Yeah. You have to go to prison for 7 years or until you suck another man's cock. 7 years it is then. Well, gone fucking mad. Who would have thought Scotland would have hate laws? Yeah, Scotland. Jesus. How on earth did that many jocks vote for that shite like that? Jesus. And the Republic of Ireland. Jesus, that's gone potty as well. What's wrong with modern men? And I include myself in that. We've gone fucking stupid. We tolerate this bollocks because we're told we have to be tolerant of others, but they don't have to be tolerant of us because we're toxic white males. Or are we First Nation? Are we natives? UK natives? So everyone that's coming in now, all these migrants and economic... No, fuck it, we'll just settle with migrants. Yeah, all these people that are migrating to the UK and then bringing their cultures with them, does that mean because they're going to another country and forcing their culture on the indigenous people, does that make them imperialist colonisers? There's a thought, isn't it? Am I being oppressed as an indigenous person by imperial colonisers that are coming in and forcing me to accept their cultural ways? Yeah. Yeah, I am being oppressed. I am an oppressed indigenous person. Sure. Yeah. And you don't have to be... Well, there we go. You don't have to be black to be indigenous. You just have to be a native of the area where you live. So, What's wrong with this bloody camera? Yeah. So yeah. Oh, it's doing it again. It's gone all fucking weird. Yeah, so if you're a native of the country you live in, you're indigenous, surely. So someone that's emigrating to your country and forcing you to change your ways in favour of their culture that they're bringing with them, they're an imperialist oppressor. Yeah, a coloniser. And as we all know, imperial colonisation is wrong. So, yeah. I'm being oppressed by imperialistic colonisers. We should rise up. Yeah. Soon we won't be allowed to own property. We'll be ejected and held in little... Just like they did in North America. You put all the indigenous people in reservations. We'll all be in reservations. I hope the move is all up north into Scotland. There's some nice areas in Scotland. Don't want to go down south. Oh, fuck that. It's full of southerners. It's a bit weird down south. Never mind. We need to build a wall across the country from the Humber to the Mersey. Big fucking wall. And then declare independence. And then ban religion entirely. Ban all religion. You're free to believe in whatever you want. The other side of the fucking wall. Yeah. There you go, being an extremist again. Maybe Putin needs to do us a favour and set off a couple of nukes under the North Sea. Sort us all out. But the question is, could he? Could he actually set them off? I didn't realise that they need regular maintenance, and if the material that goes kaboom needs to be, it has a half-life and is degrading all the time and needs to be renewed on a regular basis for these missiles to actually go bang. Yeah. And as they haven't been looking after any of their army or military equipment, really, have they really gone to the expense of maintaining their ballistic missile fleet? Because no one believed that we'd ever really use it, did they? There's a thought in it. Maybe that's why he's threatening it all the time, because he can't set it off and he just wants to let people know he's got them. Oh, we've got nuclears. Well, everyone does. Well, a lot of people do. Oh. Maybe we should set ours off and just get the ball rolling. Maybe mankind has had its day. We've become decadent and corrupt. Maybe we do need one of these zombie type plagues to ravish everyone and get rid of mankind altogether. See, I'm being dark and miserable now. This is what it's doing. It's affecting my mental health, all of this. Fuck it, I'm going to have a coffee and a cigar. Try and cheer myself up. I love this little bit of woodland. It's not fancy, it's not grand. But I can come up here and get away from the craziness in the world, I suppose. Unfortunately, I bring it with me. Because I'm an idiot. Never mind, next week I get to spend a couple of nights up here and talk to some normal people. Normal as in decent working class people. People that actually, for the most part, work for a living, would you believe? Don't have fancy grand jobs, a lot of them, but they work for a living. Most of them do hard manual labour, but they work for a living. Yeah. As my parents did, and my grandparents did. And nothing grand. You know, minimum wage a lot of the time, or what we would now call minimum wage. It's funny enough, a friend of my daughter's, her uncle's recently passed away and she's been helping clear his house. because her mum's the executor of his will, and being clear and stuff. And Karen got asked to go around and see if there was anything in there that she could take for fundraising for the church. We just need it cleared now. So she went and had a look, and she found a slide projector. So she asked if she could have it, because I've got a load of slides that my dad took many years ago. But I've got his old slide projector, but I can't get a bulb for it anyway. Anyhow, she brought the slide projector around, and the other night we tried it, we fired it up and tried it. I did order a bulb because I thought the bulb had gone. I managed to order a bulb, and the bulb came from eBay, but it was damaged. As soon as I tried to fit it in, it just crumbled into fucking dust where the prongs come out. It wasn't a new bulb, it was God knows how old. Anyhow, I ordered another bulb from somewhere else, and that arrived and we tried it. The law I then found, because it didn't work when I turned the projector on, that underneath there's another switch that only turns the bulb on and off. So you can leave the thing running and the fan's going to cool it down, but you can turn the bulb off separately. So the original bulb worked anyway. Anyway, I digress. The other night, Karen and I we'd been out for her birthday because she's turned 50. And we'd had a little party with some friends. Anyway, we got back, we were just sat, and I fired this slide projector, and we were just sat in the living room projecting it against the wall, having a look through some of the slides. And there were some slides from when I was little. Must have been about 10. I'll say 10. And it was a Christmas. And that Christmas, I remember when we came down in the morning, myself and my two brothers, we'd got Hot Wheels tracks off my mum and dad as one of our presents. And they'd set them up so it clipped to the sideboard. There was the drop, a bit of straight track, a loop, shot off, went round a bend and returned the car back to you so you could do it again. And there's a picture of myself and my two brothers playing with these Hot Wheels cars. And I noticed just how poor we were then, because our living room wasn't fully carpeted. There was a square of carpet in the middle of the living room, and it was bare floorboards all the way around. And there was another picture taken about the same time of one of my brothers coming down the stairs. And again, none of the stairs were carpeted. And it just got me thinking, yeah, I remember our house for a long time like that. And then my dad fitted some lino around the edge. Just round the edge. So they had the square of carpet and lino around the edge. No underlay or anything. No wonder that house was always cold. But, yeah, looking at these photographs and the way the house was decorated and the furniture we had, and it was all mismatched and second hand, and thinking, I didn't realise at the time, but yeah, we were poor. Yeah. We never went hungry as kids, but then you start thinking about the times your mum said she'd eat later, or she'd already eaten, and you took it as gospel because your mum told you that at the time. And now think about it, why would your mum eat before you? She was just cooking your dinner. You know? No. And she's not going to eat later because she's put everything out. So my mum, I reckon, went hungry to make sure kids were fed and my dad was fed before he went off to work on night shift. Yeah, I know times were hard, but I didn't realise they were that hard until you look back at some of the pictures. Yeah. So there you go, we've always been poor. But well fed. You cover the bases. You know. My granddad always used to say, if you've got food in your belly, you've got a roof over your head, food in your belly, and clothes on your back and shoes on your feet, everything else is gravy. I suppose he was right. If you can afford to keep a roof over your head, even in this day and age, and food in your belly, you're halfway there. Yeah. But no, these days people need foreign holidays and iPhones and Xboxes and internet access and blah 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 blah. Otherwise, society's failing them. They're not failing themselves. And this is coming from somebody that works part-time on a minimum wage job. But, you know, you make ends meet, you live within your means. Sometimes it's hard. Well, that's life. Sometimes it gets easy. It's like when, after we had this little party the other day, I said my wife would go out for a meal, and then the kids were making noises about coming. I said, yes, you can come, but you're paying for your own meals. And the looks on their faces. But be real about this. My daughter works. She works the same place I do, but she works full time, so she earns more than I do. My son works, and he earns more than I do. And my wife's husband, he works and he earns more than I do because they all work full time. I only work part time. Yeah, but for some reason, Dad's still expected to pay sometimes when we go out. What cheeky little bastards. Well, never mind. I suppose it's because they're used to parents paying. I noticed none of them offered to pay for us though, or even pay for the mum. It was her birthday. Never mind. The rain's letting up. I'm going to go see if I can find a piece of tarp somewhere. I thought I had some, but I must have used it. Right. Time to call this a day.